Yeah.
Damn.
It's not bad.
Right, we're gonna run back. So, let us continue.
No.
Smash.
Artis.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Artis, realizing everyone's running forward, also runs forwards. Use the wrong thing there. And he goes over here. No, his little hand crossbows did nothing.
Nothing.
No,
No, they did nothing.
They did nothing
No.
against the other guy. Is going to go for this angry seahorse type man here. And so he's going to fire a crossbow from his hand. Does a 18 hit?
On this boy.
It's going to fire a crossbow.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it does.
Where did that
10
come
piercing damage. The bolt jams into its fleshy exterior.
He's going to use his second attack, which I'm not going to give a reason why, but basically gets advantage. And he's going to do another one. Does 13 hit?
Does not.
Oh no! You
Sorry to be
damn.
annoying. Did we miss Artis again?
No, we're doing
No,
Artis
this is
now.
Artis.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's where the... Okay, now I understand. My apologies. I'm done.
Artis just firing off crossbows in frustration.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I swear this is just like
Crossbows
last time I was
flying.
here. Except this fellow was a clock and no one attacked us. I didn't have my disappointing son nearby.
At this
just
point,
like-
everyone looks around like, where the fuck is Sirac?
Yeah.
Did we leave him behind? That's what
I
I've done.
actually have
20
no
years.
idea where he is on the map at this stage. Oh, he's over here. I found him. Oh no, he said he wasn't going to go through the metal plates. He's fine.
Yeah, he's alright. We just left
He was
him.
getting absolutely
Again.
burnt to death.
It's just this black skeleton now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sizzles up.
Is that the end of Artis' turn?
That is, as far as I'm aware, the end of Artis' turn, yes.
Okay. I'm sure Guy's going to watch this back and be like, "Oh, I had so many other things."
I mean, useful things are
He's
good,
got
yeah.
he's got like all sorts of interesting like tactician dies and shit like that. But yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I've been reading through them.
Yes.
Oh my god, what a path.
Yeah, not worth the fat fee.
Well, I mean, not worth the path, but also. Right. Thrash is going to run down here through these people, then run across here. And then he's going to cast Darkness on his special. Oh, that's Artis. Where are
A
you?
shroud surrounds you.
How far does that go?
So that is 15 meters squared.
Thank goodness.
Or foot, so yeah. The Shroud of Darkness surrounds Thrash. I could probably make it happen with the effect.
I was just literally just looking at that. There's definitely a way to do it.
I was gonna say it's classic Shamash to like do a. I guess could you draw? Oh yeah.
I could draw one. I don't know. I was just looking at the fancy new effects, but can I make one that's like?
Death. And
You
then-
can, if you go to custom effect, you can change the effects in there to make the radius bigger.
Can I make them permanent though?
Yes, you
did that.
can. Well, you don't have it permanent. You can do the hold lifespan
Say what?
or duration. There's a duration thing on there. Anyway,
Oh, I won't do that now. I'll fiddle around with it.
yeah, have a mess around. There's some instructions, but yes.
Cool. I think that is everything for Shamash for now.
Okay, move to Shamash Rank Cabradon.
From Shamash Frank Cabradon.
to Finn and
Sorry,
Bracelet.
yeah, Tiffin. Sorry.
It's all good. Finnan, as the hailstorm ends, and the figure of the Dreadlord appears. He goes, nice to see you at last. And then he turns, sees him eyeing down Eobard Helmer, and thinks, I can give Eobard Helmer the upper hand here. And he casts Enlarge on Eobard to make him even more puffed up than before. If I can find my fucking spell, where's it gone? Yes.
Very nice.
So you are now an enlarged person. And you get a 1d4 4 extra hit attack.
Oh, fuck.
1d4, you say?
Yeah.
Ah!
So
Amazing.
much power, so much height and gravitas, and Finn sort of thinks, my work here is done, and his go is over.
So, Abar, do you now turn into a large figure?
Excellent.
Just the sheer sheen off my chin now it is.
Win him. Win him.
I feel like the Dreadlord's token's not nearly as zoomed in as it should be to face you down.
Maybe he's having a conversation with Abar, and it's just like oblivion, like, hello.
Finnan, was that the end of your turn, or was there anything else?
Yes, Finn's done. He is content. He has given
Okay.
Abar the upper hand.
Okay, we move to the knights. I'm gonna move all these knights in one, just so I don't have to do it individually, because I would say they're all probably gonna do the same thing, which is fucking run into the fray, because they are brave Sir Knights, and they are all going to jump in, and start trying to dash through. 45. They are going to form a line of hacking.
So the
And they are
first
gonna-
one, I think. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
That's right.
So the first one does take 3 damage. I think the rest are okay, technically, right on the edge.
Yeah, one jumps into
Yeah.
a bunch of spikes. 'Tis but a scratch. And we move to Ungabungsum. They've all used their dash.
Right, what happened to him? Oh yeah, he got bitten by this. Getting bitten by this sea lion. Ungabungs is very, very angry. He's going to enter a rage because of this fight. In doing that, he is going to take the spear into both of his hands and recklessly attack this sea lion creature.
A reckless attack.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It hits.
Oh, it does. Okay.
It does, yeah. It's a fleshy being.
Ooh.
That would be a 14. 14.
1, 4, 14.
Yeah, 1-4. 1-4.
1, 4, 1, 4.
Tell me how you slay this beast.
I imagine it's kind of baring its teeth at me and just about to take another bite. And as it does, I basically shove my spear straight into its mouth, and it goes through the roof of its mouth and out the back of its head.
With that, the sea lion just lifelessly falls down, rolling through the blizzard. Like it's almost like its head and tail is following each other like a really flubby slinky falling downstairs into the spikes, which then its body just spikes down onto and is pierced by. Anything else from you, Unga?
Ripping the spear. Yeah, ripping the spear out of the seal's head. Unger is then going to pop it up into the air, catch it with one hand, and throw it into that back of the Dreadlord, hopefully catching the exposed part that the soldier so valiantly attacked.
Rowing. Oh, amazing. As another attack.
Yeah, so that'd be the second attack.
With a nat 20.
And that 30 will do it. Yeah, absolutely. Roll me damage.
Oh, whoa,
Oh
That's
my
a lot
God.
of numbers.
Whoa,
What am I
whoa,
even
whoa.
looking at here?
Yeah.
Oh,
wait,
Get the
hell.
calculator out. Fucking hell. What the hell?
What's...
So 14 on one side.
So I'm
Let me
thinking,
look at. I need to look at this because I think
actually
that some
do.
of that is different types of damage.
Yeah, it's a one-handed
It is, yeah.
attack.
It's not all the damage.
Yeah, one-handed
Yeah.
and two-handed, and then on
It's-
the rage as
Oh,
well.
it's got no, but it's got radiant damage, as well. So it's piercing
Yes,
damage,
crit as
radiant
well.
damage, and then you've got the rage.
Jeez.
So it's
Yeah,
the crit,
yeah,
the
yeah.
rage. No, shit, it
So
is
it
everything.
two-handed? Yeah,
No,
two-handed.
the rage is just +2 always.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's the +2 there. So the 14 is the piercing 2-hand, or piercing 1-hand would also be 14.
so it'd be
because you have a crit.
yeah.
And then the
Then
crit.
it's
if you
14
hit
radiant
one-handed-
damage.
Yeah. And then the 18 on the rage. The crit would only, the 7 would only count if you were doing it 2-handed. Otherwise, you have a crit 3, right? Am I reading that correctly?
No, because
So
the
11
7 is the critical damage of the piercing damage, and the 18 is the critical damage of the radiant damage.
But is it piercing
Oh.
1-hand or piercing 2-hand?
No. I actually think it might be the whole thing on the right if he's doing the two-handed attack.
Yeah. I
The
agree.
Yeah,
whole
okay.
thing on the right is the damage he's done.
So 28, 30,
Um,
37, 48, right?
Yeah, because he's raging, he did nat 20, and he's doing two-handed and radiant. Yeah,
Yeah, 48 damage.
yeah.
So
48
it'd be a
damage.
throw.
It's thrown 1-hand, though.
I guess thrown one hand,
Well, yeah, then you
think-
just replace the...
but then it would have.
Just get rid of
I
that
Yeah,
think-
so it'd be 11 plus.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
instead of 48, it's 41. So,
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
damn.
41 damage.
Okay.
Only one-handed.
41 damage. The spear, I would imagine, finds the exact spot of which our knight fellow who managed to land a chink in the armor, the the spear of Sun Soul, lodges itself into that, and you see it like let out this piercing light erupt from the flesh wound of the Dreadlord. And this is the first time that you see the Dreadlord almost like take a full inch from attack, and it is a mighty flinch as it is staring at massive Abard in front of it. It kind of pulls itself down as it kind of reaches out to trying to figure out where the pain is coming from. The spear lodging in its back, and it then pulls itself out through the magic word of Sun Soul. And you see this kind of wound of radiant damage opening out into the area before it then starts to dissipate away. But this is a huge hit.
Unger is almost surprised with how perfectly the spear leaves his hand, and is just in awe of his perfect throw.
Incredible.
And that is the end of Unger's turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nubs is going to move.
Imagine playing D&D without music. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The machine's back on.
That's all right. I'll wait till you get the things and I'll keep going.
No, you agree. It's all good.
All right.
Go for it.
So Nubs moves 10 feet out to some clear vision there. You can see this guy well above the heads of everyone else below him, even if he's looking down. So he's got his bow in his hand already. He's going to take a couple of damn shots, because why the hell not? Now he's already used his bow of, a 14. He whiffs the first one, I assume, right over his head.
Yes, misses. Imagine like whipping off the side of the blizzard. Kind of catches in a crosswind from the blizzard and spins out.
Yeah. Rats, he says as he misses. And he shoots another one. Oh, this time only a 17. He's not shooting very well today. It's a bit shaken.
It goes through the wall of the blizzard but veers off the armor of the Dreadlord. Its armor is thick and doesn't bear the damage.
And then for the last amount of movement, he's just going to look at. He's going to look at Megan next to him. He says, "Like, I know what it feels like to be you now," and give him a little nudge with his then just a little shrug. And that's the end of his turn.
Kimmy's face is exactly how I imagine Medica's face right now. Just like not saying anything, no reaction whatsoever. This sea lion is dead. This knight is going to jump further in with his friend and take a go.
Yeah, so like, I've got to get 2d4 for that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's fine.
Takes 5 damage. It shouldn't be much, but you know, he's got to stay on top of it.
This guy's full of beans. He's fine. 5 damage is nothing to him. He goes in slashing, and slashing fails as his greatsword just pings off the armor. Although one does hit with a small amount of damage landed on the deep, thick armor of the Dreadlord, landing 5 damage. Move to Sir Olbard Helmer.
Olbard is going to move over yonder and taking out his light crossbow. He is going to pop, using his multi-attack, 3 shots off at this little fella with his light crossbow.
I was so ready to roll damage already, but yeah,
Oh my god.
Nice.
The AC is 15, so I think every single one hits.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have been an advantage.
It
Set
depends on
lowest
how you
range.
look at. For example, when I use those, I normally only use the left ones if
The
I
left one,
roll.
right, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
2 hits.
So 2 of the 3 hits. So 8,
18.
18.
And
Peppering into the giant scorpion. The bolts hit.
Olbard will use the last 5 feet of movement to move a tiny bit closer. And that is his turn.
Okay. As
Is he
Olbard,
shooting a big- Sorry, yeah. My bad.
as Olbard is firing at one scorpion, another scorpion comes at him directly. Scuttling along, its poisonous pincer, or its tail, it starts to bear down on him and goes for a sting. Oh my god! I need to picture this and send it on to you because I am not bullshitting you.
Once again.
Have to say that that account has some shit going on because I roll really well when I'm playing DM. Like, suspicious.
DM plus 20 it's called.
Now I'm trying to understand how to read this. Is that?
So, nat 20. Oh my
Is that
god!
75 damage?
What?
Shit.
What?
Is that the biggest damage we've ever seen?
Excuse me.
I think it is.
Did you
That
fail
looks
to
like
save?
75 damage to me.
It was a nat 20.
But he still only takes the poison if he.
Yeah.
Oh, if he okay, so he
Yes,
has
the
to roll it.
poison.
So he has to take
Yeah.
a Constitution saving throw. So roll me a con save from
Reduced by
His,
half.
Olbard,
his con
please.
save, on account of Abard currently being massive, means you get a +3 on it.
Imagine right now
As is
we're all
tradition.
watching. We're all watching as the sting is already in Olbard's heart, and he's
Yeah.
trying to pull it out to an. Oh my god!
Does that actually make it a 9?
Or no, that is right. 'Cause rolled off champion.
Oh yeah. Okay, 22. So you're right. So you only take 41 damage. It's fine.
I imagine
But a scratch.
just as the poison is like starting to bleed into his heart, he realizes what's happening and he pulls it from it just as it's about to go into him and drastically kill him. So just what did we say? 41.
Just 41, I suppose. Only 41 damage.
Oh my god, he's
good
disappeared
roll.
from the map.
I think I just deleted him by
Oh, God.
accident.
Oh shit.
He, like just like literally fizzles out into non-existence. So much damage.
I don't know how to bring him back, Sam. Can you undo that?
Yes.
I
The
imagine
power
he
of Mega Ray Bart.
Okay. In that moment, there is no flukes in this game. At that moment, as he takes insane damage, his form flickers in and flickers out. For anyone that would be looking at him, he almost disappears in and out of this place.
Realise how dark it is, man. Look at
Olbards, what is the reaction to taking a stinger to the heart and being dealt 41 damage? I'm happy for you to be RP, your great-great-great-grandfather.
Reminds me of Julia.
He was also a scorpion.
Not the first time I've been
The vicious
stabbed in
bitch.
the heart.
But you had beautiful eyes.
and great orcish tits.
Great green orcish titties.
Oh dear me. That
Green
is
as
the
the grass
end.
of Tamara.
Oh wait, it got a multi-attack. It gets to go again.
No!
Oh,
It's-
Oh no!
What is
Dude,
this?
that's
AC?
the most dangerous creature you've ever faced. It can hit you for like
This
150.
giant
Oh,
scorpion is
18.
bad boy. It hits for a 21. He needs to make me another con save. Oh my god, the poison damage is mental on this.
That's a 15.
Green shot, green shot, green shot.
I will, yeah, I'll
It could
screen it.
Easily
This
kill
is-
Unger in one turn.
I think like the highest before this was like my inflict wounds at some point, which was really high, but I can't remember what it was.
Holy shit! Yeah.
This time, the stinger goes into his lung, and it pierces deep. And Olbard suddenly doesn't feel too good as poison fills his body. And he is dealt 32 damage in total and is now
4d10.
poisoned.
4d10.
so altogether that is 73 damage plus poisoning.
And as Charlie says, if it was all the damage from the poison before, it would be over 100. No,
That is
Not
one
bad.
terrifying creature.
almost.
Jesus Christ.
That's the end of that one's turn. The next one runs around the tiering system to Shamash.
Hello.
Oh no.
He's in pitch
In the
dark.
darkness.
With its speed of 40, it plunges itself into the darkness, moving around. Your darkness, it can't see anything, right? So everything it rolls
Total
would be at
darkness.
disadvantage.
Everything at disadvantage, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna say that you see everything, right?
Yep,
In
dark
it.
side.
You see as a stinger that you've just watched from across the battlefield that has plunged itself into Olbard twice. You see it come to you, and it plunges into the wall, several inches away from your head. It goes in again, pierces down into the floor. Claws start moving around your head. It is within inches of you. It senses you are nearby, but it cannot see you. It cannot place you. Move to Gurhi.
Curry, he's going to clamber his way past Medica boys behind the scorpion. And he's going to do his best and pound it from behind on the sly with two fists.
Found it
out.
from behind. Ooh.
Oh, which one is this? Sorry.
This guy.
This boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Both hit.
Amazing.
21 damage is dealt. You batter the armor of the giant scorpion as some of it begins to crack and falls away, revealing an open thorax. Its AC is lowered by 2.
Curry goes, seeing the thorax open, and nervously he's going to try and disengage one step back after sneaking up on it from behind.
Disengage is an action.
I was going to
Action. It
say,
is an action. Yeah,
can't disengage.
of course. Kurohi's just gonna stand there and try and make a commotion, and he is done.
He tries to move his head as far back from the stalking as he can, but his feet stay exactly where they are.
Yeah.
He's leaning backwards.
Okay. We have one more sea lion who moves 10 feet, 20 feet, 40 feet. Moving in slowly. That's the end of its turn. This guy's dead. This guy's dead. This guy's dead. This guy is dead. The battlefield slowly thinning from both sides. Moving into the cloud of darkness, another sea lion goes in without being able to see anything. I don't think it would even go for the swipes of where it's at. It's just moving blindlessly through this area. It's not intelligent enough. We move to Abard Helmer in his massive form.
Abard began the turn having been cast aside, tiny, and with a perfect opportunity to heal and run away, but he's now fully surrounded, and having become massive, doesn't believe he can actually get away from the Dread Knight without him having a swipe at him, and so remembers his oath that he should never turn his back on an enemy, and does what he always does best, and heals himself for 40 points of lay on hands healing as an action. And uses a bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on himself to give an extra 2 AC, and he is going to stare down the big homunculus, and that is Abard's turn as he looks on at this menacing opponent.
What does that set your AC up to?
26.
Okay. At the end of your turn.
That is.
Okay. The knight from behind who laid such a valiant attempt at the Dreadlord takes another swipe. And doesn't hit. 15 doesn't hit. The great sword bounces off the back of the Dreadlord as it stares down its opponent. And we move to the Dreadlord itself, who, looking up at you, Abard, pulls its morning star down, puts it to his belt, and with both hands pulls a ball of antimatter together in its hand and fires it towards you and casts banishment on you at 4th level. I'd ask you to make me a charisma saving throw.
Can I do so with advantage, please, using inspiration?
Yes.
24.
For a moment, Abard, the force that wraps itself around your body feels like it could tear you from this world. It feels like it could displace your very soul. Tell me, what do you reach for as you try to counter its effect?
Abard has a moment of weakness, and then he sees around him just the absolute suicidal, insane bravery of the Knights of Damara, who are literally dying in order in a line as they jump into the spike throws around him. And with that, he just feels like a surge of strength within him as he just thinks about his home and his people and his honour. And he feels kind of at peace.
Okay. Give me 2 secs. Whilst I just figure this out. The banishment spell wraps itself around you and dissipates. The memory, the feeling too strong to take you from this plane of existence. And with it, the Dreadlord shakes its head in a menacing means. And instead it pulls its Morning Star back up and resorts back to physical violence. And takes a swipe using its last remaining attack. Your AC is 26, right?
Yes.
So 28 hits. You take 20. Oh, roll me a wisdom saving throw, please. DC 18. This is against being frightened.
10.
So you do so at advantage.
Oh, yes, I do. 21.
Okay. You take 28 damage from the Morning Star, but you resist the aura of dread. That is the end of its turn. Giant Scorpion is dead. This one is alive. This one, I believe, is just in a ice storm, right? It is not in
difficult
spike
terrain.
growth here.
Oh, it doesn't look to be. Yep.
Gonna move through, which is half speed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna move its full speed, which is therefore 20, and it is going to attempt to sting Abard in his giant form. AC is too high. Abard, in your giant form, your armor is so massive that the sting can't find anywhere to penetrate against you, and you feel its stinger just ricochet off the side of your armor. That's the end of its turn. We move to Medica Insanus.
Oh my god, it's my turn. Okay. Medica looking across the battlefield, trying to see for something he can fight himself and not butt into anyone else's battle. So he spots on his left a sea lion near Shamash, and he springs over into here and starts whipping around using the booming blade, which is basically just a regular weapon hit. Ooh, okay.
23 hits. Which one are you going against? Sorry?
The one here. Here, this one.
Yeah.
There's only 16 damage this time. I'm not using Divine Strike.
You're not using Divine Strike.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But it is under the booming blade effect, which, well, it is covered in a booming energy, let's say.
Okay.
And yeah, fuck it, that's my turn.
Okay, thank you. The sea lion, looking ravaged, bleeding from all across its fleshy body, is still moving itself around the tearing system. At the top of the turn, before we move to Artus, we start with the lair action
Oh
of the
no!
Dreadlord. With this
boy.
Morning Star still compelled to battle against Abard Helmer. It is going to cast just need to read something. Sorry, give me a moment. I'm not used to reading spells. No, okay. It is going to continue to use its Morning Star. Abard, you are dealt 20 piercing damage, and I'd ask you to make me another wisdom saving throw. You continue to resist the Aura of Dread. And it's going to use its remaining action to attempt to cast Hold Person at level 2. Romis, wisdom saving throw, please.
$19.
Again, the Dreadlord tries to cast an effect upon you, but you are able to resist. And you're able to move. Artus Kimber.
Right, Artus is going to come further into the fray. Don't mean to. There we go. And he's going to fire one of his crossbows at this fellow here. So, hatch crossbow does a 10 hit, probably not.
Does not.
But then he's going to use his second attack and use Commander's Strike, which means I can place one of my attacks and expend one superiority die to direct a willing creature who can hear or see me to immediately use its reaction to make one attack with a weapon or unarmed strike. So I'm going to give Abard the ability to make an attack with a weapon and unarmed strike. And if it hits, then I can add the superiority die to the damage roll. Just 1d8, essentially.
So Abard, you get to take a hit.
Yeah.
Abard is going to make an attack at the scorpion to his south with his trident. That's an 11 hit.
It does not.
Right! Tremendous! Excellent! Very good! I think I've been quite busy.
Artus,
Can I just ask there though? Surely you're compelled to duel the Dread Knight in the same way.
No, he's compelled to duel me.
Okay.
I'm not compelled to duel him.
Fair enough. Have a little whack on a scorpion whilst you're at it.
Oh, no, not that. Yeah. So Shamash is going to once again push out his fireball and not hit Medica.
Okay.
So 23 damage if they fail a DC 15 save. Or half that, obviously, rounded up, so 12.
Dexterity, right?
Dexterity save, yes.
All of them fail. You can
23
see
damage roll.
those group rolls, can't you?
Yeah.
All take 23 damage. The sea lion.
Realized... Sorry.
It's alright. The sea lion directs after you, perishes as it is lapped up in flame. The scorpion starts to burn. The sea lion, even further away from you, begins to erupt into a fireball, but it still moves away from it, but badly burnt.
Excellent. So just a friendly game. I just realised Medica's turn. Obviously, he came into my darkness, and I don't know if he can see through it.
Well, I did not know there was a darkness, but I only hit thing,
Well, you should have been listening to what's been going on. But yeah, no, I should have remembered to mention something
That's
at
right.
the time. I forgot to mention, so he would have technically had disadvantage, but and not being
It's all
able.
good.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
We'll allow for now.
cool. Nice. Smash is then going to.
I would have still hit him.
Yeah. With
Oh,
that
oh.
20.
You can use that on your next. I'll allow her.
Sweet.
Crash is going to. Hold on. Just thinking this through. Don't go there. That doesn't quite work, does it? Damn it. So Smash is going to walk 5 meters, then Misty Step another 30 meters. Is it dry down there? Like down here? Or is it full of water? Where did the water come up to at this point, given it's had at least, 20, 30 seconds?
Oh gosh. I would say that the water is kind of lapping up at everyone's feet on this 1, 2, third tier.
Okay, so
This
it's
is
water.
not mathematical, but it is
Yeah.
roughly around like that.
Okay, cool. Well, Smash is going to, in that case, Misty Step his way down there.
Oh my god, I can see! Wait, that's
Oh,
not
wait,
me.
wait, what? Sorry. There you go, man. Come back, you go. All good.
Jumped into a spike hedge.
I can't make my aura of darkness to clear it. Whoops.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Okay, sorry,
or-
yes, that's at the end of my turn. Yes,
Yep.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Right, Finn and Bracefoot.
Cool. So, Finnan, sort of seeing Abard in mild peril. Also, his concentration ends after 1 minute, so Abard's now sort of deflating. Sort of back down to
Isn't it-
normal size.
Friendly game isn't a minute. 6.
Oh shit, so it
turns.
is 6 rounds. I always think it's 1 round. My bad. Either
There's
way.
10 rounds, isn't it?
Yeah, 10. Shit. I always forget.
They're around 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to cast a different concentration, of course, in which case I'll shut up.
Well, bear with
In
me.
round 3 now, right? In 18
I'll
seconds
continue
or so.
concentrating. Let me just check what I want to do. Luckily, this one takes no concentration. So, at a 3rd level, I can cast Healing Word on our boy Abard. For many HPs. 18. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue concentrating on his enlarged self. And that is Finnan done.
Okay.
That's Shamash's darkness. Okay, good. That's like, what's
We move to the knights who will take a great short attack. What is the AC? One of his slashes lands a hit. It minutely hits off of the armor, landing a chink in it. The other attack doesn't hit. We move to Unga Bungerson.
Unga Bungus feeling very proud with his incredible throw and seeing the effect it had on the Dreadlord. It's gonna see that Abard is gearing up for the final battle and turns his attention elsewhere. Particularly to try and help. Is it Oddbard?
Yeah.
With the Scorpion over here.
Old
It
bar.
looks like he needs some help.
Old bard, I call him.
So, taking the spear back in hand, he's going to throw recklessly. So that hits for 27.
A 27 on the Scorpio, boy.
Yeah, 27 on the Scorpion boy on the left.
It more than hits.
Oh no, sorry. The damage is 27. Hit was 28.
Oh wow. Unga Bungerson, tell me how you do this with the Spear of Sunsoul.
Imagine the Scorpion's lunging back at Oddbard, sort of shattering its pincers, and the spear basically just passes through its head, basically without resistance, and with slime and radiant light, the Scorpion's head just explodes.
Incredible.
Like one of the footage of ballistic gelatin when there's like a really high power round just going through it.
Yeah.
Flops out.
Amazing. Unga, anything else with your turn?
Yes, I'm now going to turn to my left. The Scorpion is facing Medica. Do the same thing. Throw my spear directly at that Scorpion's face. So this one.
Watch where you throw that
Wow.
thing.
A 12 hits. Roll me damage.
Oh, it does hit.
Oh, yes.
It hits medical.
Oh, that'd be it. Yeah. 15.
15. Oh, no, that is equals 15. Shit, what was it on? There we go. Yes, okay. The spear flies into the Scorpion. Some of its armor starts to crack and separate, leaving it far more open and vulnerable to attacks. Its AC is decreased.
No,
But it is not
and
dead.
that is the end of Bunk's turn.
Okay, move to Nubs Grimrick.
Yeah, Nubs is also not going to interrupt this final duel between the Abard family and the Helmer family, and this giant knight. So he's just going to help out with Medica's Scorpion and take a few shots at this Scorpion over here.
Imagine the sound coming from the Damarans facing down the Dread Knight is very much like the AoE mining gang, as it's just like everyone clanging down on the armor.
I was thinking,
Like
anyone ever
7
played
great swords.
the first Mountain Blade, like when there's in battles and everyone's going, yeah! It's like a bunch of those noises, basically. Alright.
Yeah.
Nubs,
Fuck.
please roll me your attack.
It's a 14, which I thought whiffed it, but I think that still hits, right? Because we got a 12 that worked, so yeah.
Oh, yes, it does. Sorry, I didn't see that come up. Oh, there it is.
So we'll do 13 damage on that guy for the first shot on the Scorpion.
Nubs, tell me how you want to do this.
Oh shit, okay, I rolled the other one, but apologies for that.
That's right. You can
Yeah,
use that
just
one for another one.
Just, it's got its little pincers, it's going, and it's just when it opens them, like a little arrow goes in there, it goes, and it just sort of flops down, sort of completely limp as it sort of just gets hit right in its insecty nerve cortex. Yeah, and so like after that, I'm like, oh shit, maybe I'll take a shot at this little sea lion here. And I've rolled the the damage roll already. Not the damage roll, excuse me, the hit roll.
Yeah,
already.
the attack. Yeah.
Yep.
31
We'll
more
get
than hits.
Yeah, and we'll just. I think we just do 6 damage because they're going to use Colossus Slayer once per turn, so just only 6 damage on this guy here. But we'll take it.
Okay. 6 damage. The arrow piercing into the sea lion from afar at the end of your turn.
That is the end of Nubs' turn.
Okay. We move to the knight, one of the knights closest to the Dreadlord, as the Damarans pound down on the Dreadlord. Oh my goodness. Both hits. Both hits. What is that? 9.
The Damara.
Okay.
Yeah.
This particular Damaran pulls his greatsword and starts. He goes from slashing and thinking, just slashing downwards isn't working. I am going to poke. And he begins to try and poke it into crevices in the armor. And he finds some weak spots underneath one of the arms. And he manages to find contact as he pierces his greatsword in to the Dreadlord. The Dreadlord now is staggering as blades come down on him thick and fast. Blood, black, starts pouring down through the crevices in the armor as it pulls back its Morning Star ready for another blow. As the knight's turn, we move to Olbard Helmer.
Olbard, seeing his boys in action, charges in as well, and with a cry of Damara, uses his multi-attack to attempt 3 greatsword hits on old Dready Boy.
All but the last miss. Olbard Helmer, however, how do you want to do this?
Olbard, it kind of does like Emperor, because he's like coming down the tiers. He kind of does like an Emperor Palpatine like spinning jump, like, and there's 2 wild flashes that go nowhere. But then the final one, he kind of like gets his aim in and sort of plunges his greatsword directly through one of the eye holes in the Dread Knight's helmet, and the helmet just flies off into the center of the room, as I'm assuming the Dread Knight doesn't just kind of phase into dust.
The Dread Knight falls. It begins to just separate into this dust around it, seeping into the water. The Keeper of the Door is defeated, and with it, all scorpions and remaining enemies run and cower into the furthest corners of this room, unwilling to attack, unwilling to engage. They keep their distance and keep far from you. And the door at the bottom tier is left unmanned.
The door is unmanned.
Billy Barge reaches out and taps Olbard on the shoulder to give him some healing to try and get rid of his poison.
But wait, can we still battle? There are foes around. Can I go punch people?
All of the enemies are actively moving away from you. They're not actively fighting back at the staying of the Dreadlord. Any attacks you would make would be successful. They are not able to position themselves away from necessarily resisting. Anything they would take would be at disadvantage. You're more than welcome to beat the shit out of them.
In that case, I'm going after this sea lion here and just beating the shit out of it. Yeah,
Please, sir, be my guest.
Yeah, we can play that however we want. I'm just actively killing everything that moves. That is not.
Yeah, fine. Medica is actively destroying everything that is still living in this room, then, I assume.
Yes.
Mash is going to try and get some poison out of this scorpion here and put it in a little vial.
You've seen the strength of the poison of these giant scorpions. Something to be harnessed. You take a vial.
Do a few vial, if you can.
Is the Red Knight's Morning Star or any of his armour still on the floor where he fell?
The Dreadlord has dissipated into dust. And as you look around at the rest of the corpses in this room, they do so too. And as you think back, all corpses in this place seem to have disappeared slowly.
Well, let's not dwell on that. Or it's nothing.
Hey Bard, can I have my ring back, please? It turns out that trying to negotiate with these was not the best idea at all, but I feel good that we tried, you know?
We gave them the benefit of the doubt.
As
We
Abard
should
is
have doubted them.
removing the ring, He can hear. Please don't kill me.
Yeah. A crustacean holocaust.
He
Yeah,
was out
probably
hungry no more.
another natural 20, so second in a row. So I'm doing well here. No complaining.
Nothing suits Medica better than enemies that are disabled and running away from him.
Be careful, or I will mistake you for an enemy.
Well, I guess the next question is how the hell do we get through all this water to that door below? So assuming the water's still lapping up. But
The water's there,
yeah.
covering the door.
Just a quick dip, surely.
What's on the other side? If the door opens inwards, as in into this room, then surely the pressure of all the water will stop it from opening at all. Obviously, if the door opens outwards, then there'll be a huge gush of water going through. Unless there's water on the other side. Do you think the door is airtight?
Abard is striding over with his incredibly long legs. And it's like, that shall be no obstacle for me! And tries to reach down and just yank the door open.
Mega Abard.
Roll me a strength check, Abard.
I do so at advantage because of my enlarged size.
Choose when you want to run out on the minute type. Now we're out of combat.
I'd say at the end. So after this pitiful roll, that probably counts as a minute being up.
Imagine
As he-
like shrinks.
Abard grabs it literally as he is shrinking.
No, 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 no!
The door against your pull, Abard, no matter how big or small you are, at this moment doesn't open. The door itself is fully submerged into water.
Not much good there. It's going to take quite a pull.
Yeah. Does it look broken?
No, seems like a normal door.
Yeah.
I think it's the pressure of the water on its nubs. If you think there are tons and tons of water pressing against that door. Hey, bud, did you check whether it was a pull or push door?
Oh, it's definitely a bard. Like stands in front of it and just tries pushing it.
Pretty sure it's a pull door.
It's definitely a pull. Yep. Of course, I checked.
Have you checked for any clocks on it? Artus helpfully asked.
Yes. Yes, we should do that.
If it's a clock-based mystery, I can help, you know.
How deep is the water out on the levels? Is it just the very bottom level, or?
No, so the bottom level and the tier above it are filled with water. The second tier is overflown with water that sits on the surface level of the third tier. So the third tier is like surface level.
Okay.
So where Shamash is, like here, this is like surface level, and that lies across the top of here, and then that covers all of this.
Cool.
I've done it in that teal rectangle.
Thank you.
What if we lash a couple of sharks together and tie it to the door? I'm sure Baz Bolano would be proud of us.
Could we remove the water in any way?
Imagine as you say the word Bazbolano, everyone in the back of their minds just hears the "oh shit" as they recall back to the moment Bazbolano was eviscerated by Cloud Giant.
Yeah. Well, in the short term, we can put curry here in the water just to start soaking it up, but it might take a while.
Ook, ook, ook.
I imagine he's like slowly, like just.
It's
swelling up
slowly
like a
expanding.
sponge.
And I imagine as Kurohi does that, he expands full of the water. He kind of holding both arms up, his little kind of podgy hand, one full hand, one arm. And then his small arm just sprouts into a full arm, and you all see protruding from Kurohi's arm this wrapped tentacle engraved in it. And Kurohi even looks at himself, looks around at you all. Oh, confused. Oh,
And takes a half step back, shocked at the tentacle wrapped around his arm. Get out the water again, Karahu. He slowly steps out.
oh.
Does the tentacle like disappear, or is it like just permanently back now?
Stays on his arm, and your Ook looks back at you. He holds arm. Ook, and he kind of scratches his arm. Ook.
Of concern for him, self-harming. Finnan goes, "Oh, no, we've tried that. Remember, we cut your arm off, and it came back with it. It's not gonna help. Suppose we could try it again, but I don't think it's gonna work."
I imagine Kurohi looks into your eyes, Finnan, and for the first time, you see a genuine look of concern from your mushroom orangutan.
But don't worry, lad. We'll work this out sooner or later. There's got to be some sort of spore to bite off tentacle. We'll get to the bottom of it.
I tell you what, if we can't open the door, why don't we just destroy it? Shamash suggests.
Not a bad idea. Wouldn't be the first time.
I could try shattering it, and if that doesn't work, then so could our friend Medica here. Well, if no one is resisting, then that's exactly what I'll do. Smash. Goes about here, and he casts Shatter. on that spot there.
Just on the door?
Oh, great one. Just basically on the door, so the door takes 11 shattering damage.
Yeah.
And anything within 10-foot sphere, technically.
Tell me how your shatter breaks the door.
So, everyone in the room suddenly hears a very loud, intense, ringing noise in their ears. Painfully intense, but not too painful for the people at the far end of the room, obviously. But as they hear that noise, that kind of going through the thing, they see the door shatter inwards. All the, I'm presuming it's a wooden door, all the bits of wood just erupt and for just a second then go swoosh in, being pushed in as the water pushes in through the door. Kind of like little implosion under the water. Go.
As the door implodes, the water is sucked through it at an alarming speed. Even the water that sits on the surface level seems to be sucked through it, as if almost like by a vacuum. It moves at an alarming speed, and the room is suddenly dry. And all that is left in front of you is an open doorway. Just the frame remains.
Well, who wants to go first then? Shamash suggests. Arthur suddenly volunteers. I've been here before, you know. I'm sure this room is the final clock. One that I'll be able to finally prove my clock-based knowledge on. And Artus makes a huge run for the door.
Did I mention I like watches?
Oh, Artus seems to have gone through.
Does anyone else follow Artus?
Well,
Hey,
depends. Is the sea lion dead?
Sea lion is massacred by your hand.
I think
Okay.
Kurohi
Whipped
in his
to death.
Kurohi in his nervous state of unsureness. I think he's going to run off after Arthas. Unsure of himself. And he's going to look out, my boy!
Seeing at least two of his trusted party going through, I think Shamash will also give it a go. See what's going on down there. He's feeling somewhat braver than he was.
As you move through... No, sorry, go for it, Sam.
Can I just check, the knights who've died, have they also turned to dust?
Yes.
Abard, Olbard, take a moment of thought for the fallen. Nabard's kind of a bit confused that they've turned to dust, but then again, it could just be Dreadlord was a bit evil, so maybe that's what happened there. And they're going to slowly move over towards the door, but not going to go through just yet.
Shimash, Artus, and Korohi. You walk through a passage that must pass underneath the tiered system of this aquarium until you come to another door at the end of it. All trace of water is gone. The corridor itself is bone dry. What do you do?
Kurohi's going to
And you...
touch
sorry.
the walls. Sorry. See what they feel like.
Unusually dry in here, isn't it, Artus? Sorry.
Right.
Smash.
Corey.
Make noise.
The stone is sandy.
The solid.
Like the sand, the type of stone that you would feel in a desert.
Interesting. Yeah, pulls his hand back and sort of solemnly looks up Shamash and Artus. Ooh, as if like we must continue on.
Smash, having got his ring of animal understanding back from Abard now, I think, understands the meaning behind that ook. And also goes onwards. Artus, on the other hand, is not so sure, somewhat nervous. He sees no clocks down here. Nothing here is clock related at all. He goes back. Oh, sorry. He
No,
goes
it's
back.
okay. The door's open. The door's unlocked.
Oh, the door is unlocked, is it?
You can
He
open it.
tries. Well, open it in that case.
In front of you, you see lavish furnishings and decorations everywhere in this large room. The floor is strewn with rugs and cushions. Tapestries cover the walls. A hookah stands as tall as an adult human. Sits in the center of the room. Sitting cross-legged, a skeletal figure, grey skin, garbed in a red cloak, raises his head. Runes tattooed into his skin, and he observes you all slowly. And he speaks. A voice that you've heard once before. Are you trapped here too? And he looks puzzling at you. Have you reached the end? Or are you still seeking?
We came here of our own free volition, Shamash says. We've not tried to leave, but we believe we can come the way we can go, the way we came. We are still seeking. We're seeking the mysteries of this. My friend here says last time he left his treasure here, it was entirely clock-based. But we are yet to see a clock. Artist interjects. Yes, it's true. Lots and lots of clocks. No figures like this. It's all very mysterious to me.
The figure smiles wryly. This place plays on something that we seek. For you, staring at Artus, maybe it is time. He stares at Shamash and Corey. For you two, I am not so sure. For me, I believe that I am a gatekeeper. An ironic punishment. We are imprisoned here at our own need.
Tell me then, friend, what is your need? I know I have faced mine in this labyrinth.
Mine is a need to move between worlds, and that has been taken away from me. The irony is that I am the only one that is able to open and close them.
Open and close the worlds?
The gates.
Ah,
Karahi's gonna lift up his arm, marked with the tentacle, and sort of like look down at it, like, hoping it's like a passphrase.
You have been scarred like many other minds. What brings you to this place?
Karahi's gonna like do a little hand puppet of everyone going through a tunnel, and then a wave, and then point to his arm again. I don't go, whoa. Look confused.
His eyes move across all three of you.
well, we've been this far. I see no reason not to trust you. We come here seeking some vestiges that my colleague here, pointed at us, supposedly hid to keep them safe. We have between us found 9 of them, and we seek to restore the power against, well, the power of the giants against the dragons. I could go into more detail, but essentially all hell is breaking loose in the outer world, and we are here to stop that chaos, keep the world safe.
I know what
If you
you
want more-
speak of.
Excellent.
However, I am afraid that it would pain you to learn that I am on the other side of what it is you mean to do. At least for my time in your world.
Ah, I see your robes of red. Are you one of the fabled Red Wizards of Thay?
He stands from his seated position, and he is tall, 8 feet. I was. I am. But I have been betrayed and forced to reside here. Tell me, you have possession of the vestiges?
Not I personally. My friends, my colleagues, my compatriots. But you tell me, what is it that you're after? What is it that motivates you? The giants? Yes. The disruption there is a ruse. The fish people? They want to drown the world. But I see no place for you in a drowned world. What is it you are after? What is it the Red Wizards truly want from this? Why are we fighting?
We red wizards of Thay seek nothing but knowledge, for the sake of knowledge. We the masters of planar magic, scholars of the infinite pathways between worlds. My apprentice has a mind of his own. Betrayed by his cunning, his hunger, and his restlessness. Seeks to control those planes. And the vestiges are such a key.
But control for what purpose? To have them filled with water and sea creatures? That seems a little purpose for the pursuit of knowledge, for the pursuit of power.
The sea is only part of it. Another play in the grand act.
And where do the dragons come into it? As you must know, the dragons were once my people's masters. We rebelled against them, we escaped. But we never forget the cruel vindictiveness of them, the cunning. We saw a blue dragon when we first started this venture. I can smell their dirty paws on everything. What have they got to do with all of this?
The eyes of the wizard regard you for a moment. The Ancient One met with us. Yes. We worked for her for some time. Before I was banished here. The ear of my apprentice was bent for some time.
Please go on.
Tell me more of your apprentice.
Do you know the name of Chrysatis? I assume you
Chrysa-
do, seeing as you are in his own prison. Much like I
Chrysatis.
am.
Grezog. Grez the Terrible. Ah, he has many names. We have heard from many people affected by his machinations. He is your former acolyte.
He is. He was a mind like my own. Once. I taught him to walk the plains. To seek the lost magics of the Fae. The hidden wisdom of the elemental lords and the ethereal truth of immortality. The knowledge we sought was greater than anything else discovered on this plane. We found a means to extend life. We found a means to break the balance and become unchained by immortality, morality, and the gods themselves. But in our path, Crustation met many others. We veered away from each other. One in particular took his ear. It led us to a gate that we had never opened, nestled amongst the sea, in what I believe you would call the Purple Rocks. An ancient keep. The Blood Gate. Sitting under the black altar. The ancient Sentil Keep.
And what deal did Crustation make with these people of the sea? What do you mean the... Wait, no. The unopened gate on this plane of existence, is that right?
When we first travelled to the island, a people who lived there, plagued. They worshipped a being of the sea left there for centuries. We observed it for some time, but didn't consider it. My apprentice believed that it could be bent to our will. But I was focused on the gate itself.
Tell me, what is your name?
My name is Tarulvar of Thay.
And this gate. We have heard of it from different sources, including a supposed brother or cousin of my patron. Where does this gate lead? In your words.
I'll answer it in a moment. A lot of time has passed since
Oh, yes.
the rest of the party saw these three walk into the passageway. What would you all do? People coming through?
Finnan's coming through.
Good.
I imagine.
I don't want to sound super lame. It's just, did we want to keep going for a little bit longer tonight, or how are we doing? Because I know Kimmy's almost at 1 o'clock in the morning, or it's half
Yeah, it's
past
quite
12.
late for the time zone, guys, isn't it?
Sorry.
I am very sleepy. Yes.
Okay.
We're just getting interested.
Apologies.
Yeah.
All I
that's
can
all
say
good.
is Medica is finishing killing the last scorpion in the room.
Let me answer
Yeah.
the last thing that Shamash said then.
Perfect.
Yes.
We'll wrap
No
up.
worries.
I imagine then as everyone else walks into this passageway, Shamash, could you repeat your last question, please? If you remember.
I've heard of this gate. And tell me, where does this gate lead?
The figure starts to look at everyone now coming into the corridor. He doesn't flinch. He merely looks at everyone in the eye, each individually. The gate joins into the infinite corridor. opening up the pathway to Bartor itself. A portal not merely to hell, but the means to gain authority over it. Grisatis searched for centuries, finding stray spawns of the Gatekeeper. There are still some of the demons that walk this earth. We found one. We were able to decipher the forgotten language of the Infernal across the gate. And that is where I played my part. I am the right bearer, the one who opens the gate through a device. He holds out his hand absently as if something he would usually hold there. I know the words, but I do not hold the resonator itself. Grisatis sought to become the gatekeeper of the Hells, to take Bane's place, to claim the soul of the gatekeeper and trade his own in its place, and open the pathway to the ancients. With that, we'll pick up next week.
Excellent.
Amazing.
Now some deep lore dropping there.
Very